Hello students, let us continue the previous video. So in the previous video we have stopped with the allotropes of carbon. What are the allotropes of carbon? They are diamond, graphite, graphene, fullerene and carbon nanotubes. So in this video we are going to see about them in detail. Okay students, first let us see about graphite. Okay mama, so this is the picture of graphite sheets, and its properties are given here. Look at the first property. It is the most stable allotrope of carbon. Out of the various allotropes, which is more stable? Graphite is the more stable allotropic form. Then it is very soft in nature and it conducts electricity. It is a good conductor of electricity. And dear students, we know that which is responsible for conductivity. If an element or a compound possesses free electrons, then those free electrons are responsible for conductivity, isn't it? Yes. So the reason we will see why it's conducting electricity, we will see later. Okay, so it is a most stable allotropic form of carbon. It is soft and it conducts electricity. Then come to property number 4. It is composed of flat two-dimensional sheet of carbon atoms. This is one sheet and this is another sheet. Likewise, successively the sheets of carbon atoms are arranged in graphite. So it is composed of flat two-dimensional sheets of carbon atoms. Then next point, it has hexagonal net of sp2 hybridized carbon atoms. The carbon atoms in the graphite are sp2 hybridized. And here in the case of graphite, the carbon single bond carbon bond length is 1.41 Armstrong. And here each carbon atom forms 3 sigma bonds with other 3 carbon atoms. In this way, one carbon will be here, then another carbon, and another carbon. So each carbon, likewise this carbon forms 3 bonds and this one forms 3, this also forms 3. This bond will be keep going. Okay, so in the case of graphite, each carbon forms 3 sigma bonds with the neighboring carbon atoms. But here we have to remember one thing. What are the number of valence electrons present in carbon? Carbon has 4 valence electrons, which means it has the ability of forming how many bonds? It can form 4 bonds like this. But instead of forming 4 bonds, it forms only how many bonds? It forms only 3 bonds. So here what is free? There is 1 electron is free. In the case of carbon in graphite, 1 electron is free since it forms only 3 sigma bonds, and this free electron, it is responsible for the conductivity of which one? Graphite. So actually it has to form 4 sigma bonds, but instead of forming 4 sigma bonds, it forms only 3 bonds. So 1 electron is free. That free electron is responsible for the conductivity of graphite. Is it clear, students? So this is the reason for conducting nature of the graphite. Okay. Each atom forms 3 sigma bonds with neighboring carbon atoms, and the 4th electron is free and it is responsible for conductivity. Okay, and the next point is given about the distance between the successive sheets. One sheet is separated from the other sheet by the distance of 3.40 Armstrong. This is the difference between one sheet of carbon atoms and the other sheet of carbon atoms. And final point is given about its uses. It is used as a lubricant, either in the own form or it is used in the form of oil. Graphite oil, it is used as a lubricant oil. So what are the informations we have studied about graphite? It is the most stable form of carbon. Then it is soft. It conducts electricity. It is composed of flat two-dimensional sheet of carbon atoms. It has hexagonal net of sp2 hybridized carbon atoms. Carbon-carbon bond length is 1.41 Armstrong. Then each atom forms 3 sigma bonds with neighboring carbon atoms. 4th electron is free and it is responsible for the conductivity. And each sheet has the distance of 3.40 Armstrong. And finally, it is used as a lubricant. Okay, then let us see about the next allotropic form of carbon, that is diamond. Okay, dear students, as we know already, diamond is the hardest substance. So it's given it's very hard, and here the hybridization is sp3. In the case of graphite, we have seen it is sp2 hybridized, whereas in the case of diamond, the carbons are sp3 hybridized, and here the number of bond is 4. Each carbon can connect other 4 carbon atoms, and this arrangement is called as tetrahedral arrangement. This arrangement of carbon atoms is called as tetrahedral. Tetra in the sense 4. So since carbon forms 4 bonds with the neighboring carbon atoms, we can say that it has a tetrahedral arrangement of carbon atoms, and here there is no free electrons because all the 4 valence electrons are involved in bonding. So there is no free electrons, so it is a bad conductor of electricity. Okay, then look at the next point. It forms 4 bonds with neighboring carbon atoms. So tetrahedral arrangement around each carbon atom is seen, and there is no free electrons in diamond. Since there is no free electron, it shows no conductivity. And finally, the last point is its uses. It is used for sharpening hard tools, cutting glasses, then making bows, and also rock drilling. These are the uses of diamond. So what are the properties we have seen about diamond? It is a very hard substance. The carbons in diamond are sp3 hybridized, and each carbon is connected to other 4 carbon atoms. Tetrahedral arrangement is seen. There is no free electrons, so it shows no conductivity. And last point is the uses of diamond. Okay, then let us see the next allotrope, that is fullerene. Okay, dear students, look at the point number 1. Fullerene is the newly synthesized allotrope of carbon. It is a recently discovered one, and it has discrete molecules. Discrete molecules means more number of carbons will be united together. So it exists as discrete molecules. The examples are given here. C32, which means number of carbons will be 32. C50, number of carbons is 50. C60 means number of carbons 60, and C70, C76. Okay, so it is a discrete molecule, and it have cave-like structure. Cave means kund. Okay, it has cave-like structure. And out of all these forms, C32, C50 and C60, C60 is called as Buckminster fullerene, or it is called as buckyballs. And this is the picture of buckyball. Okay, it has like a football structure, so it is called as buckyball. It was discovered by Buckminster, and so it is called as Buckminster fullerene, or in short form it can be called as buckyballs. And in this buckyballs, there are 26 membered rings. See here, this is the 6-membered ring. 6-membered ring, and 12 5-membered rings. This is the 5-membered ring. Okay, so there are 2 types of rings present in fullerene. Those are 6-membered as well as 5-membered. In the case of C60, there are 26 membered rings and 12 5-membered rings are present. And here the hybridization is sp2. Carbon atom in fullerene is sp2 hybridized, and carbon-carbon bond distance is 1.44 Armstrong, and carbon double bond carbon bond distance is 1.38 Armstrong. So with this, the informations about fullerene is over. What are things given? It is a newly synthesized allotrope of carbon. It is a discrete molecule. It has cave-like structure. Then C60 is called as Buckminster fullerene, or it is buckyball. It has 26 membered rings and 12 5-membered rings. It is sp2 hybridized, and here carbon single bond carbon bond distance is 1.44 Armstrong, and carbon double bond carbon bond distance is 1.38 Armstrong. Okay, the next allotrope we are going to discuss is carbon nanotubes. Okay, it is also the recently discovered allotrope of carbon. It is given here. It is the recently discovered allotrope of carbon. It has graphite-like tubes with fullerene ends. The tube structure will be like graphite, and the end part will be like fullerene. Okay, and along the axis they are stronger than steel and conducts electricity. So if we look at along the axis, they are stronger than steel, which means they are somewhat harder substances, and they conduct electricity. and they have the applications in nanoscale electronics, catalysis, polymers, and in medicine. So only a few points given about carbon nanotubes. What are they? It is a recently discovered allotrope, and it has graphite-like tubes with fullerene ends. The tube form is like graphite, and the end will be like fullerenes. And along the axis, they are stronger than steel, and they conducts electricity, and they have applications in nanoscale electronics, catalysis, polymers, and finally in the field of medicine. With this carbon nanotubes completed, then finally we have to discuss about graphene. Okay, so this is the picture of graphene. It has single planar sheets. It has a sheet like structure. If you look at the picture, you can understand. Okay, so it has a single planar sheet, and here the carbon atoms are sp2. Dear students, in every allotrope, which is very very important, what is the hybridization, then what is the bond distance, then what is the arrangement. These 3 points are very very important. In the case of graphene, the carbon atoms are sp2 hybridized, and they are packed in a highly dense way. So it's given densely packed, and it has honeycomb crystal lattice. The crystal lattice is looking like honeycomb. So these are the informations given about graphene. What are they? It has single planar sheet. Its hybridization is sp2. It is densely packed, and it has honeycomb crystal lattice. Okay, so with this, all the allotropes of carbon is over. Okay, so what are the things we have seen? First, we have seen about graphite, then secondly diamond, then fullerene, carbon nanotubes, and finally graphene. So dear students, with this, the introductory part about group 14 elements is over. Then in the coming videos, we will discuss about the compounds of the elements of group 14. Thank you.